everyone, welcome back. Welcome one, welcome all to more of the Great Ace. Why do I do that sometimes? This is Ace Attorney Investigations 2. I may say this is the greatest game, but in reality, this is not the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We beat that almost a year. Can you imagine? I started my playthrough of those games almost 2 years ago. Amazing how many games I've played since then. Right? Anyway, hello. Welcome. Don't worry about why I was a little late. Just going to the bathroom. But everything's fine. I'm fine. This is fine. In the great words of a Polish justice, this is fine. Oh yeah. The great words of a Polish justice is I'm fine. So Saturday, still up in the air if it's gonna be Stardew or it's gonna be it's up to Madcap and Alexa, honestly. No, Alexa said she's up for it, but in true Madcap fashion, Madcap didn't tell me anything. So true Madcap fashion, everybody. But anyways, I might also just not stream, period, because we have something that we're taught we would like to discuss with it. It's not really like something we want to discuss on a stream. And don't worry, it doesn't actually really affect you guys though. It's from let's talk about it. But it actually does kind of affect you. But I'll let you know when we have all the details together. I should note that I should start saying that prepare yourselves for the 31st because that will be this year's birthday bash. That will be the birthday bash / 2-year anniversary of me being a VTuber. Now you might be wondering, hey Nitro, why don't you ever celebrate your regular stream anniversary? Why do you only do like your affiliate versary and your VTuber debut, VTuber anniversary? Why not your actual stream? Because if you don't know, actually, I was not always a VTuber. I had the before time, which is why my lore is so complex, probably because I wanted to incorporate the before time when I was a flesh tuber. Anyways, the reason I don't do that is quite simply I don't remember when I started streaming regularly, because for me, my Twitch account has been around for about 10 years, I want to say, but throughout the course that said 10 years, I've been on and off. I was on and off the streaming because I didn't know if I wanted to continue it. But now I'm just like, yes, this is something I want to do with my free time. This is something I want to do. This is something I want to, do. I want to do to raise money for children. Because keep in mind, every stream of mine is an extra live stream. Though I do have big events like I do have a big event every year for a game day during game day weekend. Like the past couple years have been 24-hour streams, and this year's gonna be a 73-hour cap stepathon. And so yeah. Hello, I am out with the BFF. Welcome in. I'll be real. I think I should stop blathering so much and just get on with, I wanted, but it's like, should be fine. Let's play. Good, it's saved. I get really nervous now because it's happened to me twice. April 6th, 4:51 p.m. outside the Grand Tower, temporary film lot. John. So that guy was my dad. Found out about his own birth so suddenly. Oh, he's in the same position you were, Edgeworth. Except for he only has to deal with that feeling for like a day. You had to deal with it for like 15 years. Whoops. Furthermore, his newfound father is no longer in this world. And is no one gonna pick up on is nobody gonna be picking up on the fact that he's... Oh, thank you. Anyways, what I was saying, is no one going to pick up the fact that he's still in belief that he's the one who killed President Huang? So that means, currently, in John's head, he believes he just murdered his own dad. Which is very heartbreaking to feel, you know? But honestly, Edgeworth can relate. Sorry. I shouldn't bring up Turnabout Goodbyes. That was Turnabout Christmas being a few months away. Yes, that's right. For those who are new to this community, I have a yearly tradition around Christmas time to replay Turnabout Goodbyes around Christmas every year. It's a great tradition. 10 out of 10. This year will be our 3rd year. I always been searching for my dad. John. I get it, alright? He's the president. I know it's a complicated situation. But we even met face to face during the filming. So then, why? Huh? Why didn't he tell me who he really was? I'm sorry, John. You don't need to apologize. No matter how you look at it, it's all my fault. And now he's gonna bring it up the fact. Yesterday, I broke my promise and didn't even notice the fire on the roof. So I destroyed everything. I crushed it all. Dad, and those flowers that Mom carefully grew. John, please, no, just don't think about anything. Just stay like this for a little while. Just for a little while, okay? The bond between a parent and child. That's the meaning behind the lion lilies. I know it's not my style, but the flowers from Senpa. However, we have no means of protecting that bond. Agent Lang, allow me to say this. The case wouldn't be solved by sentimentality alone. Therefore, shouldn't we do all that we can to solve it? Yeah, right. The recreation of the past has finished. Were your father's deductions correct? My old man took his deductions to the grave. He never told anyone about them. So who knows if they were right or not. In that case, what about your own deductions? I would like to hear what you think happened based on the recreation. In order for us to get close to this truth 12 years ago. Yeah, I was thinking it's about time. I can see it now. My old man's back, real close. I'll catch up to him for sure. To the truth that my own man uncovered. So we're just gonna let John be sad for a while? Okay. I mean, I guess solving 12 years ago does solve his case. Help him. He's a kid who just learned that his dad's the president and that and he thinks that he probably accidentally killed him. But it probably was someone else. There's no mistake that the president went to the orphanage. The stuffed toy is proof of that. He was planning to meet with a marsh. However, the president was hidden, and Cameron just happened to witness it. If Cameron hadn't been there, probably wouldn't be just kidnapping with no murder. Afterwards, the body was moved to the flower beds and a photo was taken. Was that really what happened 12 years ago? However, there's one thing I still don't get. Something you don't get? It's this. Why did they need to take a fake photo? Why would they go through all the trouble and even make a president take part in the photo? That's true. It is kinda odd. However, the answer to that riddle must be somewhere, the answer to that riddle must lie within. Once we get past the layers upon the deductions, we shall surely reach it. Keep in mind, this is just an English translation. The official translation comes out. The official English version of it comes out when on my birthday, which is December 6th, which is only a little over a month away. Yeah, that's right. I'd like to hear your deductions as well. Should I just press on every statement? Sounds like a plan. I can press. I'm really good at pressing people. Not sexually. Do not take that sexually. Please. There's no mistake that the president went to the orphanage. Agent Lang, I'd like to verify a few things that may have seemed obvious at first glance. Are we certain that the president actually went to the orphanage? Okay, I get it. You're saying you want proof. Everyone's always demanding proof from Mr. Edwards, after all. You didn't have to tell him that. The stuffed toy is proof of that. He was planning to meet with Dame Marsh. You mean this stuffed animal? The one with the recording device? That's right. Said that toy was a recording from John's first mother, named Marsh. Indeed. She said that she would meet with him at midnight. Wow! You two are perfectly synced. The truth is becoming clear. It's like you're peeling off the layers of a scallion. Hey, a scallion doesn't have anything in the inside. Please don't make such forebodying analogies. The truth is becoming clear, like you peeling off the skin of a wolf. Can you stop making those forebody analogies? Little wolf boy can handle it. Let's get back on track. However, the president was kidnapped and Cameron was just happened to witness it. I'd also like to verify the details of this point as much as possible. Cameron witnessed the president and his kidnapper near the orphanage. And Mr. Cameron was standing by the snowman near the road. Then, the murderer picked up the brick, snuck up behind him, and... Wait! Okay, we're simply verifying what actually transpired. There's no need to be scared. That was so intense. Half the details of this case just vanished from my brain. Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Lang, let's carefully verify all the facts of the case. Well, if you're gonna listen now, I'll talk as much as you want.
Hold it!
If you hadn't been there, you say. That's an interesting theory. Care to explain in more detail? It's simple. Cameron was killed because he saw the kidnapping. The kidnapping itself was a success. If he hadn't been there, no blood would have been spilled. No blood would have been spilled. You make it sound like it was his own fault for being there. Hey, that's not it. What Agent Lang is trying to say is, simply, besides Mr. Cameron, there was no other casualties at the crime scene. Oh, is that all? Of course, that's obvious. The president was kidnapped, but once the ransom money was paid, he was returned safe and sound. That sounds like an obvious point. However, thinking about it bothers me. I made to reevaluate the evidence once more. Well, let's do so. You done explaining things to your assistant? I still have one last thing to confirm. Afterwards, the body was moved to the flower buds and a photo was taken. That's also an important point. I'd like to take another good clean look at the information. Yeah, I'm with you there. Let's start with the Cameron that we saw before he was murdered. Cameron witnessed the president's kidnappers from the front of the orphanage. However, the culprit wanted to conceal the connection between the incident and the orphanage. That's right. That's why Cameron originally roll film was disposed of, and a fake photo was taken of them, and a fake photo was taken of those standing outside the grounds of the orphanage. Yes. And Cameron's body was then moved to match the photo. It's finally becoming clear. The secret that was buried in the snow for 12 years. Is this the truth of the SS5 incident? Mr. Edgeworth, what's the matter? There's still something hidden behind this case. Huh? What do you mean? There's a piece of evidence that cannot be explained by Agent Lang's theory. As long as there's a contradiction, we'll have to present it in order to advance our reasoning.
Objection!
If the eyewitness Cameron had not been there, no murder would have taken place. Is that really the case? The criminal's goal was only to kidnap the president. If there was no witnesses, there would have been no need for a two-man murder, right? And what if Cameron wasn't the only one who was murdered? There's a large bloodstain near the flower bed. However, Cameron was murdered near the snowman. Ergo, this bloodstain could not have belonged to Cameron. If someone else's blood was spilled, and quite a vast amount of that. Hey, Miss Prosecutor, do you have any idea what you're saying? I do. It's hard to believe, however, that's what the evidence is. On that night, 12 years ago, there was 2 murders. Are you saying that the other murder was covered up? Who just a heck could have been killed? Oh shit, it's raining pretty hard. Shit, guys, if the power goes out, you know where I'm out. Yeah. Just note, the power goes out. Next one's fine, for the most part. And the incident itself was completely deleted from the case files. However, there is one thing. One piece of evidence that still remains intact after 12 years. This piece of evidence shows that something happened that night. The other murder indicates that the other murder incident was buried in the dark by Ballas the Best. However, there is still one piece of evidence that remains. Agent Lang. It survived by your father's hands. My old man, you say? Please, recall. There was one more thing that was hidden alongside the traces of the murder. And that is the existence of the boy who caused the fire. Why did Ballas make the boy disappear? It's because he saw something that he wasn't supposed to see. What's the thing that he wasn't supposed to see? The kidnapping. Everything is drawn in this picture. The drawing my old man had. The person drawn on the right is most likely the president. The Mozilla doll is also drawn near him. And the person standing opposite him is...
Take that!
most likely a man with a knife and a large black dog. He is none other than Sir Handogan. What? The assassin? Why would an assassin appear before the president? The answer is clear. Indeed, what occurred that night on the orphanage grounds 12 years ago was not a kidnapping. It was a presidential assassination. Oh! Then, Miss Rowland and Mr. Bass were, yes, those two were likely partners in crime. One furnished the orphanage to use as a scene of the incident, and the other covered up the young boy's testimony. It's likely that Mr. Cameron was murdered because he witnessed the assassination itself. After all, the kidnapping actually never happened. Stop messing around. You're saying that the president was assassinated 12 years ago? We just found his body today. He's been alive up until now. That's right. I mean, we met him ourselves. If the president was assassinated 12 years ago, and the president's body was found today, that would imply that there's two presidents. Yeah, and that can't be right. Are you sure about that? There's the possibility that there were two presidents. That's right. Up until now, I've been getting a strange feeling from the president. Even so, I still respect the man. Zenfa is a small country, but he carried the nation with his strength. The image of President Huang that Agent Ling described. You are wrong. He reveals his true form. It differs far too greatly from the President Huang we knew. It's just as if they are two completely different people. If there were, in fact, two Zenfa presidents, exactly how would such a scenario be possible? What would make the existence of two presidents We have to assume that one of them was a body double. Wouldn't it be possible then? A body double? President Huang possessed an immense power and authority in his thought. I'm sure that there were those who envied his position and made attempts on his life. Yeah, just as he was attacked a few days ago at Groot Lake. It's true, there was those who saw Huang's life from time to time. But I can't easily believe that there were two presidents. At least not without any evidence. Do I have evidence that proves that there were two presidents? Has Agent Ling not noticed his contradiction? Or has he noticed it but can't admit to it? What is it, Mr. Prosecutor? Don't shout something out only to suddenly clam up. According to the records on the doll, the president visited the orphanage at midnight. However, that should not have been possible. Huh? Why is that? Why? Because at the time, the president should have been at the embassy. He was together with Agent Ling's father. So Agent Ling, you really did notice. He was in two places at the same time. Ergo, there must have been two presidents. Oh! And which one of them was the real president that day 12 years ago? Most likely the one who died. Who contracted Doenge to murder Huang? In order to learn that, first, we must have looked at the evidence that we provided false earlier. And the piece of evidence we know to be false is Agent Lang, take a look at this. What about it? This is the evidence that should... No, I was just speechless because your reasoning was so crazy.
Take that!
No? Oh, obviously. The photo that was fake.
Take that!
The photo was taken with camera. Must have been taken after he was murdered. And he was murdered because he witnessed the presidential assassination. In other words, the photo must have taken a following to the assassination. Given that, who is the president pictured in the fake photo? We must consider him to be the body double. In other words, the body double had the real president murdered and then took his place. Mr. Roland and Ballas must have cooperated in that plan. Hold it! Hong's body was never found. Where could it just disappear to? The answer to that is already quite apparent. This is where the real president's body was.
Take that!
Last night, there was something Ballas had to unearth with his own two hands. That item was not the ransom. It was something far more important. Ah! So Ballas unburied the real president's body. The possibility is quite high. What did you say? The bones from the body buried 12 years ago would still remain. According to Mr. Powers, the construction was to begin soon as this fall. That was the deadline. Both for the movie and the retrieval of the body. Because they wouldn't have found the body when they started the construction. Agent Lang, let us search the footprints that Ballas dug up. Yeah. If the body was buried there would be traces of it. Hey, somebody call forensics. The results of the search. We found traces of the dirt that suggest the body was buried here. So it was Huang after all. We also recovered the skeletal remains that Ballas Best dug up. They were in his home. In addition to the bone structures, the dental records and the bone fractals all match up. We can confirm that it was indeed President Huang. So, the real President Huang was indeed killed 12 years ago. The SS5 incident was a murder. So that's it. The SS5 incident was actually a murder incident? There's so much information that was way too confusing. Indeed, let us take this opportunity to review the details of the case. First, the real president came to the orphanage, right? 12 years ago. The true President Huang visited the orphanage in order to meet his son. footsteps in the snow that we thought belonged to Cameron were most likely made by the president at the time. President Huang was supposed to meet his son here. However, the one who actually showed up was the assassin, Mr. Han Duga. He came here to meet his son, but was murdered instead. Horrible. A man like Dojin shows no mercy. And after that, the second tragedy occurred. You mean Mr. Cameron's murder? Indeed, Mr. Cameron saw the decisive moments. After the president was killed by Dojin, his body was carried to the real courtyard by the team of kidnappers. Mr. Cameron must have witnessed that moment from the orphanage entrance. Although he himself believed that he's actually witnessed a kidnapping. Furthermore, by this time, the body double who had came up to meet Valis and Miss Rowland was already standing behind Mr. Cameron. And then the witness to the incident, Mr. Cameron, was killed by the body double. So was Mr. Cameron's corpse also carried by the body double? Yes, that seems likely. But there wasn't anything at the crime scene that looked like the body double's footprint. I've already figured it out how he accomplished that. There's a piece of evidence that would have made it possible. What did the body double use to leave any footprint?
Take that!
This is almost certainly how the body double carried Mr. Cameron's corpse. After Mr. Cameron was killed, the president's body double carried him into the middle of the garden. I suspect the body double was wearing the same shoes as the real president. If he made sure to step precisely on top of the footprints left by the real president. Ah, since the shoes were the same, there would be only one set of footprints left behind in the snow. I think I got a pretty good grasp on the SS5 incident now. But there's still one thing I don't get. What's that? Why did they need to stage the abduction? Because Mr. Cameron witnessed the incident. He saw the president at the orphanage. He left behind a witness testimony on Miss Crane's answering machine. Even Ballas couldn't make that disappear. Ergo, the body double needed a reason for the president to have been at the orphanage. And that's why they prepared a fake kidnapping charade. The people in the fake photo are the body double and most likely Patricia Rowland. The person in the coat is Miss Rowland? What makes you say that? Because he would have left the orphanage in order to take this picture. Just when he moved the body, the double used the real president's footprint. Ah! The second footprint must belong to the person in the coat. Indeed, we originally believed that the footprints were to be Cameron's killer. They were size 7 footprints. 7 footprints. Too small for ballast speed. Thus, we can presume that the person playing the part of the kidnapper was Patricia Royal. Hidden in the shadows of the presidential kidnapping was the presidential assassination. I see. That's why my old man... what? The old man must have realized that a murder had taken place. After all, he had a kid's drawing. However, that picture was never presented as evidence. Your father likely took it from the young witness during the investigation and hid it. He had to know that Huang was dead. But what he had revealed back then, revealed the death of the president. The backbone of Zenba. It would have caused chaos. And that's why my old man took the secret to his grave. He took the blame for the kidnapping, knowing that would be the fall of the House of Lang. This is true This is the truth that Agent Lang's father hid 12 years ago. And now it's all become clear. Is that really the case, I wonder? Huh? that bell? It's... Sir Hondoan. You! Why are you here? How can you just brazenly show up here? Who do you think you are, pal? I found the conversation most intriguing. Well... Are you feeling nostalgic about an old murder of yours? You're the one who killed Huon. Nostalgia? I think not. You were speaking about the person I am searching for. You're searching for someone? I escaped from prison in order to meet with a young occulte, the one who wore the red raincoat. The red raincoat? Who's that person? I suspect that it's the same person as the young mastermind you are searching for. Someone you've been searching for. The one in the red hood. The red hood. Don't they seem surprised? Ambitious? Yes, they are, my boy. 12 years ago, this young occulte saved my life. Ocean State. Certainly, it was I who killed the President Oolong. However, my life was also targeted on that day. The body double balanced and picture all thoughts on the lips. If I had not been reunited with the young Colte back then, I would have been in danger. But alas, even to this day, I do not know what has become of the young occult. Your client was indeed the body double. Who was the main perpetrator of the crime? It was a long time ago, but I remember his words even now. There has been countless attempts on my life, not just once or twice, countless. And yet, why must I be the only one to face the danger? When I stand before the people, I garner the same respect as the president does. Tell me, what is the difference between him and me? The difference was great, while the voice and style of speech may be the same. One can mimic the body, but the heart cannot be reproduced. I suppose his own weakness cost him his quest to become a leader. Now that Rook's gone, I'm in charge. I'm not sure if you're as capable as Rook was. What are you saying? I'm totally the leader now. Perhaps the king and his knights were not all so different after all. The devil believed that the president's only weakness was a woman called Amy. Find the woman who needed assistance from someone in this country. So he joined forces with Ballas, and determining her whereabouts, he simply waited for the right opportunity. That chance came with the meeting of the orphanage. Indeed, the director of the orphanage was bribed and brought in as an accomplice. You must be referring to Patricia Rowland. Well, given what I told you, do you realize the whereabouts of the young Colte now? You mean the boy who saved you? But how do you know that he was the master? That day, the young one caused a fire at the garden of the orphanage. Ah, you're talking about the kid who started the fire as a prank. A prank? Not at all. On that night 12 years ago, the young Colte was hiding inside the igloo. catching him will remove the body from his hiding place. Apparently, he heard them talking during that time. It would seem that they were planning to kill me because they knew the truth. He immediately came out of the hall to tell me that. I learned of this about the young occultist sometime later. It seems he was wearing a red raincoat at the time. He led me out of the main hall. And then, the young occultist said he was going to get rid of our footprints. He scattered some lamp oil near the igloo of the snow. Then he boldly set the oil ablaze. Ah, no way! See, he set the fire in order to... All their focus was diverted towards burning flames. I took the opportunity to escape through the rear exit. So the boy in the red raincoat is the mastermind behind this case. Exactly. Isn't that right, Andrew? Yes, boy, yes it is.
Hold it!
You admitted that rather easily. These days I have grown long and tired of killing. Those in the Tagalante has devoted myself to passive and one cannot admit that such, but can you? Right, infamy, excuse my voice. I feel like he's saying something scary. Kinda hard to understand him. This fallen priest is saying that he has no longer feelings about the president's death. Going assassination and escape prison should be the despicable tone, but silence now would be imprudent. I must keep my composure and let me talk. I understand your point. Killed the president. That is correct. The aim of my village never misses its mark. However, my life is also targeted on that day. God, the Rolling Thunder is very, it's a little bit. Ah! Hold on. There we go. Oh, did they not save? Oh, I was just in the wrong one.
Hold it!
I didn't realize that was something. Your life was targeted. You, the assassin. Hunter becomes the hunted. Hold on. I don't like the controls I made. Okay, you have to make straight up progress. Life especially for an assassin's life is expected in danger. So does that mean people who you tried to kill have fought back? That is a rare occurrence. However, this was the difference. The body double balanced and vision all soft on their lips. Okay, so I actually have to press the Y button.
Hold it!
I actually have to press the button. Third thing, you are a master assassin. As such, you could not have evaded an attack from those three and fled the scene. You really overestimate me. Without ambushers by my side, I would not even be able to walk back. If those three were to attack me all at once, I would not stand a chance. I see, so even an assassin will fall to superior numbers in a frontal assault. I suppose one could say that. I, Sir Hindona, would have suffered a shameful defeat. I had not been reunited with young Colte by then. I would have been in danger.
Hold it.
Reunited. Now, when did you first meet with him? That would be 18 years ago. What? That would be the IS-7 incident. That's a rather long time ago. That's also a rather specific date. On that day, our roles were reversed. I saved the young one's life. There was an unusual snowstorm that day. The temperature was well below freezing. I took Amadeus for the walk in the snow. That's when Amadeus noticed something and started running. I followed after him and found a car. I had greatly difficulty opening the door. It has frozen shut. In the back seat, there were two young children, shivering from the cold. 2 children? Had they remained in the car for an hour longer, they surely would have frozen to death. I brought the 2 of them to a nearby orphanage. Is there anything about those stories that concerns you? There is something. What concerns me is the date. The 24th of December, 18 years ago. Are you sure about that? There is no mistake. Could that mean... I forgot Ray was here. I know. The significance behind that date. What shows the significance of that date when Dojin found the children? I was wondering why we had this. That day, a certain incident occurred. A sculptor was murdered. Ah! During that incident, 2 young boys went missing. The sons of the victims, Isaac Dover, and the culprit, Dane Gustavia. We never did find out where those 2 boys went after the case 18 years ago. Oh, they were sons of a victim and a culprit. It all makes sense now. What makes sense? One of the youths was bound, that he could not move. Mr. Dover said that Mr. Gustavio's son couldn't come to the contest museum. Indeed, Gustavio was using his own son as a taste tester. I think that's what transpired. These are children who seem to recall what has happened. They lost their memory? The occulty told me this when we were united 12 years ago. The pair were placed in an extreme situation, on the verge of freezing to death. That trauma led them both to suffer from amnesia. Neither could much remember his own name. But they didn't even know that they were the sons of Mr. Dover and Mr. Gustavia? Indeed, while we cannot say this is conclusively, its probability is quite high. However, we still don't have enough information to deduce the mastermind's identity. Dojin, would you please continue your story? Very well. I continued my correspondence with the young Colte ever since entering the country. Recently, that has all come to an abrupt halt, however, it left me quite concerned. Furthermore, those involved in the crimes of Disco were all drawn to the incident one by one. I grew more and more curious. I was able to escort him briefly from the prison. Those involved 12 years ago were Patricia Roland, Ballast the Best, and President Hu Wong's body double. And Miss Roland was the warden of Mr. Dojin's prison. I blackmailed the warden. That woman had tried to kill me. Perhaps the good prosecutor has already deduced the reason. You murdered President Hu Wong. However, the world still believes that he was alive. If you were able to prove that the president was a fake, both Patricia Roland and Bella the Best would have been in danger. That is correct, and I had heard the proof with my own ears. I'll be waiting in the courtyard of the orphanage at midnight, February 9th. Even if it's just once, I want John to be able to meet you. I'm sorry if I'm being selfish, but I'll be waiting. would you be? My apologies, but I'm presently waiting for someone. I'm well aware of that, President Huang. Are you not meeting with your son? However, I do not spill blood needlessly. You may relax. I only seek the President's life. It can't be. Please wait. I'm just about to meet my son for the first time. I'm sure this will be the first and last time. Please, at least wait until we are finished. I had thought the President would beg, but he offered a different. Officially, the President had no son. However, he said illegitimate son, and he recognized him publicly. Also, the boy with the horns over there by in the mention of the preparations and the will of Zenfa. Together, they suffice to make the warden bow to my word. With those three pieces of information, one could prove the identity of the double by using John. The President blocked the first strike of my knife with something soft. The pieces fell atop the snow. I struck it once more, this time the blow proved fatal. The division cut off the Mizilla's doll's horn. None but heard his final words. Only myself and that child, the child knew of the President's secret son. I forgot we were rebuttaling. I continued my correspondence with the young Kote ever since we entering the prison.
Hold it!
In other words, you contacted him from prison. The post office box is post office box. It allowed one to send and receive letters without revealing the recipient's location. I couldn't use the form of correspondence that would reveal the occult phase of me. There was someone keeping watch over my correspondence. You must mean the president, physical role. Could you be more specific about the nature of your correspondence? Well, they were mainly moved for my correspondence chess matches. Correspondence chess? If I recall, the person you were playing against might be hard to believe, but Dojin's chess opponent was... Ah! Are you saying he was playing against Mr. Knightley? Wasn't it Horace Knightley? We certainly found the correspondence chess memo in Knightley's cell. Does that mean Ellie Boy was the kid from the ISS incident? Could that really be true? But what about the other kid? Okay? We're missing one kid here, guys. One kid is not accounted for. Okay? One kid isn't accounted for. Is there any evidence connecting Nancy to the ISS? Okay, let me read the incident. Wait!
Take that!
This is all that Knightley left behind. There be a clue hidden within. Which should I investigate? The ring or the chessboard? The ring! This ring is. Mr. Edgeworth, what is it? Mr. Shield, let's take a look at this ring. This pattern is. It's pure okay! I thought so. Yet Mr. Dover's seal turned into a ring. However, why would he have this? Shouldn't it have been held by the police as evidence from the IS-7 incident? After the incident, seal was returned to the victim's next of kin, and Mr. Dover's only family was his son. Since no one knew there was a son had gone to, it took a while to get to him. I heard that the police had finally found him and delivered him his inheritance, but so the seal that was thereby safely delivered to his son. And then he turned the seal into a ring and wore it on his person. So, Mr. Knightley was Mr. Dover's son. The police aren't fools. I'm sure they did a thorough check before handing it over the seal. Someone involved in the IS-7 incident was his press opponent. Knightley, huh? And that man must have been mastermind behind this case. But Knightley is dead. He cannot be involved in this incident. How about that? The only one who could be the mastermind was himself, a murder victim. But if this guy can't be the culprit, there's no way that's right. It certainly is strange. In that case, who's the culprit?
Hold it!
It came to a halt. Now all the time. Quite odd, it's not. Amabé is told. Get odd. That scary dog talk. Was he like something odd? Something's up! Woof! I can understand it, Amabé's heart, even if he does not voice his thoughts. Then something I'd like to ask, just in case. Your scary dog staring at me right now. He's not saying, I'm hungry, I want some meat, right? Perhaps. Ocean. Perhaps. Mr. Andrews! It seems she's not much good with this assassin dog. Good boy, good boy. Here's a good boy. There's a good boy. So then, at any rate, my correspondence with the occultic suddenly came to a abrupt halt. Furthermore, those involved in the crime 12 years ago all drowned into the incident, one by one.
Hold it!
That does seem too much for a mere coincidence. The body double of Du Heng Wang, the prison Fa's fake assassination. Trisha Rowland, the prison warden, murdered Horton Knightley. And Ballas the Bat, the chairman of the PIC, murdered Jill Train. Come to think of it, I have been investigating this case. I have a feeling that the presence of some force was behind the scenes. Even with the prison, I could tell that it was this was no significant event. I grew more and more curious, so I scorned briefly from the prison. Furthermore, those involved in the crime will be ago. Oh, wait, no.
Hold it!
You scorned briefly from prison. I cannot forgive such a criminal act. You stole your way out of prison. I can't forget such a seething act. Alas, no one. I merely had connection to the last set of attack. But even so, you can't just escape from prison, pal. Arrest him! Arrest him! That won't be necessary. Once my business is done, I shall return to my cell. You're trying to make fools of us? Prison isn't that kind of place you can just enter and leave at will. The wolf may say that. But one can say that the wolf and his pack are also share an interest of tales of my past. Agent Lang, Detective Gumshoe. There are still a few things I must ask Doji. Please postpone the matters until then. Yes, sir! I knew you'd say that, Mr. Edgeworth. Damn it all! I'm not taking my eyes off you for a second. Writing letters in Braille would be a rather enjoyable pastime.
Hold it!
Excuse me, but you wrote your letters in Braille? Edgeworth, he's blind. You knew this! Indeed, for I possess the tools necessary to write in Braille. Also, he's blind! that. Okay. Ignorance. Then would you please tell us what you wrote? Letters, of course. Oh, movements of chess pieces. You wrote the movements of chess pieces by hand. That statement is freaking. Then how does your handwriting how does your handmade dog piece move? Okay, a question can wait. So then, what to do when the letters stop coming? In the prison, I grew increasingly concerned about the whereabouts. Okay. Even so, I don't really get it. Who exactly is this Apolte? Indeed, Doshin himself has not yet made that clear. I think it's obviously clear that it's Mr. Gustavius. What's important is that the threat concerning Doshin and Apolte, their correspondence, not just the letters. We should pay attention to the means that was used as well. Objection. I'm certain you said you wrote the letters in Braille. Correct. The good prosecutor must know that I am lacking in sight, do you not? The correspondence chess letters we found have been typed out using a word processor. What? That cannot be. What do you mean? So someone went out of their way to retype the letters out on a computer? Could another person have acted as a middleman between Dojin and Knightley? What do you mean? Dojin wrote his letters in Braille. However, by the time it reached Knightley, it has been rewritten in a word processor. We must assume that there's some middleman who wrote those letters. And reverse can also be set. That same somebody might have taken the letters Knightley wrote and redelivered them to Dojin. Yeah, that is indeed true. Knightley and Doshin both communicated through a certain individual. Doshin, were the letters that reached you? They were in Braille, of course. So Knightley boy's letters must have been transposed by the same person as well. Oh, that somebody must be the mastermind behind the case. You're saying there's someone else who's the mastermind behind this case? And who the hell is it? Silver's son, Knightley, is already deceased. In that case, there's one more use that should be considered to be the mastermind. You mean Dan Gustavius. But who the heck is he? If Knightley is Silver's son, then Gustavius' son must be... Well... We're the only friends either of us had since childhood. He actually was the same as Dean. We never really had real families. It can't be. Could it really be him? Jeez. Simon Keith. Oh my gosh, is this seriously gonna be a farewell my turnabout moment here? Where I'm gonna start hating him? Because we all know how much I hate Ingarde. But here's the thing, I never trusted Ingarde. Mr. Edgeworth, what is it? You've gone all pale. I figured it out. The identity of the mastermind who's been controlling this case from the shadows. What? Who in the world is it? I don't want to believe it myself, but it's someone we know quite well. The mastermind is...
Take that!
The mastermind behind this case. Sent a letter to Jill Crane, which precedes Valor. Furthermore, he kidnapped John and eavesdropped on us. However, of all of his actions, the one I've not been able to get out of my mind is how he brought an unconscious Kate to the room. The giant monster. Huh? Did you just say something? That's right. The key to exposing the mastermind is in the monster's true form. Ah! I almost forgot! If you'd like, please come to our next show. I'm also performing in it. The Very Big Circus is always fabulous and fun for all ages. Miss Swift, there's something I'd like to ask of you. What? What do you mean, me? You said that you recorded the sound of Mozilla spewing flames. Aren't ya? The sound of Mozilla spewing fire, the place when you could see of flames. That's right! I ain't actually seen it with my own eyes, though. Could you let us listen to the tape? Sure thing! Here we go! Now, it is as I thought. So it seems that my reasoning was correct. The true nature of the monster and the master. All my logic is coming together. Miss Hart, you said that you captured a giant eye on the film, did you not? So it did! Right here in this photo! No, we cannot confirm the likes of this. Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir! Lend me your film analysis device. Okay, but what do you want to analyze, sir? This photo. I'm on it. Is there a new clue?
Eureka!
This is! See? Ain't that Miss Zilla's eyes right where I said it would be? I see. I have finally grasped the true form of the giant monster that was being controlled by the mastermind. Giant monster? Ain't you admitting it? You ain't ya? You're admitting the mighty Mozilla was real. No, this is not Mozilla. This is the eye of a different monster. Please have a look at this. It's a flyer for the Very Big Circus. Ah! This is... Precisely. There's a rather large balloon on the head of a... With the head of a lion picture here. This balloon is the true identity of the giant monster. In addition to the sound Miss Swift reported, which she believes to be Mozilla's spewing flames. Mr. Prosecutor, don't tell me. You gotta say something that's out of my dream. Hot air balloons fly by using burners to heat air, right, sir? Precisely, detective. The mastermind used this monster as of his, to bring Kate to the rooftop of the Grand Terror without using the elevator. Wouldn't that mean That the mastermind is someone connected to the circus? He's a member of the circus, Knightley's friend, and Dan Gustavia's son. Who would have sunk it? Apprentice master became. He's no amateur. For the beast that he has to pay none other than this entire case. Simon Key, he's the mastermind behind this whole incident. Mr. Keyes was really behind it all? No way! I don't believe it. I mean, we trusted him. How could it have all been a lie? That's just heartbreaking. Hey. What is it? Hey, you stop! Where do you think you're going? The boy was torn rather perceptive. The good prosecutor has done a remarkable job. Now that I have heard that, I have no further business here. What? Wait! Dojin! Ah! Damn it! Where'd he vanish off to? Mr. Edgeworth, are you okay? Yes, I'm fine. However, that guy, John? That Dojin guy. He's the one who killed my dad, right? No question or difficult to answer. However, there's no use in denying the truth. Yes, Bob, you are correct. He'll pay for this. I swear he's gonna pay! I'll make him pay my... John, you must have finished that thought. Prosecutor Edgeworth, please pay us no mind. Sir, I put an APB on Dojin. All available police units will be searching for him. You're the man, kid. I don't mean to be heartless, but we need to hurry too. So, Mr. Prosecutor, where's this mastermind right now? Agent Lang is right. Our top priority right now should be catching the mastermind. He should be practicing. He's most likely at the very big circus tent. But first, Agent Lang, I have a request. A request? What is it? Now that we have identified the giant monster, our next order of business is to capture it. The moment we arrive at the tent, I need you to locate that specific item post-haste. Detective, I ask that you perform a follow-up investigation on the kidnappers. Roger that, sir. Mr. Edgeworth, I want help out too. In that case, you'll be in charge of calling for a backup. If he truly is the mastermind, we may require assistance from a certain someone. I met him so many times, yet his facade always fooled me into sympathy. He may have gotten the better of me in the past, but this time, I'll settle it once and for all. Well, the big question is, how much do we have? How long is the ending? Do we finish the game tonight? I'm trying not to look into. It looks like I'm tough. It's tough. Because I think it's supposed to... I think I want it to be... Hi, guys. I'm just trying to figure out if I want to finish the game or not. Okay, so it's gonna be... Three testimonies. You know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. Let's finish. Let's start a new game next week. Well, we were going to start a new game next week anyways, but let's start it on Tuesday instead of Thursday. Never thought we'd be back here to this very big circus. Ah, Mr. Edgeworth! Are you guys here for the show? Mr. Keys, Miss Berry. You're a little early. I'm sorry, but we're still getting ready. Drink water. It's important to stay hydrated. Soda does not hydrate. I'm so happy you came. You remembered our promise. I'm not here. Yes, I remember. You asked us to come and see the show when you gave me this. I'm so happy you came. Please enjoy yourself. I'm sure my performance will surprise you, Mr. Edgeworth. I don't think of the sort to miss this Keys. Your performance has already surprised me, Mr. Keys. Like, he hasn't performed yet. He's been performing ever since we met him. Regina, please have a look at this photo. Is this balloon the property of the very big circus? Ah, it is! Did you see it flying around somewhere? It's highly likely that this balloon was used by the culprit in the case we are investigating. Huh? Who's in charge of the balloon? Well, that would be Simon, but... Are you saying? Mr. Keys, you flew this balloon in the middle of the night, did you not? I do occasionally practice alone at night. Not much of a pilot, though. I'm a little clumsy. So for practice, you do something as challenging as flying a balloon at night? Wouldn't that be rather difficult for someone who has a clumsy and not much of a pilot? Then, what do you think I was doing, Mr. Edgeworth? You were moving a body? You brought Kate to the roof of the Grand Tower. In order to frame her for the murder of Jill Crane. Not a single security camera recorded Kate using the elevator. Therefore, the only way she could have gotten up there was through the flight. The only one who could have flown her up there was you, Mr. Keys. No way, Mr. Edgeworth. How could you say that? That's not all. You drug John at the garage pickup and kidnapped him. Wasn't that why you were late when you came to watch the trial of Patricia Rowland? No way! I have no idea what you're saying. That's no way I could do a thing like that. Please believe me, Mr. Edgeworth. No, we'll just go with the classic logic and reasoning. I wanted to believe you. However, you have broken that trust yourself. That's horrible. Why would you say that? You would say that you would trust me? That's why you believed in me? Don't worry about that. We're your allies. That's because we're like birds of a feather, right, Mr. Edgeworth? Birds of a feather, huh? I suppose that's true. We have sufficient information about your past. I doubt you have more motive to kill Knightley. Rather, you are probably the most affected by his death. And I doubt someone as timid as you could work up the courage to murder someone. Alright? I'll get you out of here. We'll believe in you. It's so sad. Those words were all lies. It wasn't a lie. We really did trust you. Yeah, you said you were like birds of a feather, and yet it hurt, Kay. It hurt me deeply. It's okay. You can get all your feelings out in prison. Mr. Edgeworth, maybe Simon isn't a bad guy after all. Kay, don't listen to his lies!
Objection!
I see. Well, that's how you operate. I understand now all too well. No matter who you face, you'll find an emotional weakness and exploit it. You guide each person towards an outcome you desire, without even them noticing it. That is how you were able to mastermind the entire case. No. Because it's raining and my power might go out, and if power goes out, that means stream has been canceled, so I just want to get through as much as I can. I may have fallen for your tricks before, but not this time. Simon Keys, I indicate you. Look, come to this after all. You are all so full of confidence, Mr. Edgeworth. But I rather like that, because now I can rip that confidence to shreds. God, this really is starting to feel like the farewell my turnabout. It really is. Ha! Good work, everyone. We're standing in a chain. Yeah, like I said, really starting to feel like farewell my turnabout here. So, the animal tamer who cannot tame animals. That was all at the stop. This is the real Simon. Simon? That's not true, is it? Here's our lie. What difference does it make? Huh? Mr. Edgeworth has just made me up a little upset, that's all. He'll take responsibility for upsetting me, right? A facade of 12 years of a murder, masterminding a whole murder. It's true. I practiced this balloon 2 nights ago. That photo must have been taken while the balloon and I passed near the building. I often fly around that area for advertising purposes. There's nothing unusual about that, right? Well, you have to if you're ever going to get to the truth, right? That's how it works, right? You often fly around the Grand Tower in the balloon. Yeah, the circus needs to advertise. Regina, is that true? Yep, if someone stopped to advertise using the balloon. Most people who live around here should have seen it. That balloon was used in the crime that we're investigating. Like I said, just a coincidence. I simply happened to pass by the Grand Tower when that photo was taken. I shall determine whether or not it was a coincidence after I hear your full story. I was about to say, wait, no, that was only 7. Because I was gonna bring up turnabout successions from a Polish justice, but I mean, that is just a murder that could have happened any day the past 7 years. as it happens, just casually, any day, I'd be like, need to murder. Sure, I practiced with the balloon 2 nights ago. Was the balloon launched from this tent? It's a nice big park near the Sunshine Coliseum. I always launch the balloon there. I see. In that case, how do you transport the balloon to the park? Well, it's too heavy to carry it by hand. It weighs several hundred pounds. And yet, it can fly in the sky. Amazing, isn't it? I asked you how do you transport it. Now answer the question. Aw, can't you even make some small talk? Yeah, you're mean, Mr. Edgeworth. I used the truck. The balloon loaded into the back of the truck. The truck. Yeah, last time I took that truck and the balloon was out 2 days ago. Can I overlook that piece of testimony? The last time I took the truck and the balloon out was 2 days ago.
Hold it!
Allow me to confirm, you yet haven't drove the truck since. Do you really need to confirm that? I mean, I just said it 5 seconds ago. Answer the question. Or would it be inconvenient for you to do so? That's pretty weak provoking coming from you, Mr. Edgeworth. What could become inconvenient about something I've already said? Fine, I get it. That truck has been parked in the dressing room since 2 days ago. And the balloon and baskets are still inside. Is there a problem? There's no problem. I simply wanted to express my thanks for that piece of testimony. The truck was parked in the past 2 days. That's exactly what I wanted to hear, Mr. Keys. May I continue? So then, regarding the balloon. That photo must have been taken when the balloon and I passed near the building. You're saying that it was simply a coincidence that you were photographed near the tower. Ah, I get it. I know how you operate now, Mr. Edgeworth. You insist that a coincidence is impossible until you get your way. When you say it like that, everything will inevitably get your way. That's scary! You're wrong. Mr. Edgeworth isn't like that. Okay, calm down. He's only trying to provoke an emotional response. He intends to goad us from losing our focus in order to derail the topic at hand. Now, why did you think he would do that? Because he's a clown? No, I mean because he's trying to hide something, I guess? Exactly, okay? We must not let up on him. However, we must continue to keep our composure. Yep, so Simon, allow me as the assistant to ask you a question. When you passed by the Grand Tower at the precise moment, was it really just a coincidence? We could have just left things at that, but for the sake of your consistence, I shall explain my reasoning for being there. I often fly around that area for advertising purposes. So, in addition to advertising with the balloon, maintaining the balloon is also your job. Am I wrong? You're a real stickler for the details, you know. Yeah, that's right. That's the boss if you want. Right, boss? Yep, Simon is in charge of cleaning and fixing all the stuff with the balloon. I don't think anyone besides Simon has used the balloon for a while now. That confirms that he was the one riding the balloon that was taken 2 days ago. However, if he's the mastermind, we must have used it today as well. Am I able to prove that? Looks like you're taking thought. Is it really that hard to comprehend? Hot air balloons fly in the sky. In other news, the sky is blue and the grass is green. Excuse me, the blue is currently gray? No, we want him to break. And commit that he is the mastermind. The truck you put the balloon into. Was it blue by any chance? Blue. So what if it is? Today, we saw a blue truck carrying a large basket. If that truck just so happens to be yours, then your claim that you used it 2 days ago becomes a lie. Agent Lake, Emma! Mr. Edgeworth, I finally found you! I've been searching you for ever since the incident yesterday. I dashed right over after Kate contacted me just a little while ago. Prosecutor Edgeworth, thing you were looking for. Found it. It was placed in a blue truck at the dressing room parking lot. Thanks. A blue truck, as I suspected. That truck, without a doubt, is the one I saw today. There's a number of blue trucks out there, you know? Just say you're not mistaking it for a different one. It's definitely that one. I got a good look at it. Huh? Mr. Edgeworth? Was that? It wasn't me. Hey, words have no strength without evidence backing them up. Ah, that's Mr. Edgeworth's voice. Evidence. Present evidence. Do I have any evidence to prove that this was the truck I saw today? Huh? What's wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Why are you touching the truck? The truck's cold to the touch. It seems to have been parked here for some time. You can figure all that by just touching. They can check the face. They can check the truck for Edgeworth's fingerprints. Nailed it. What could prove that this is the truck I saw? Testing for fingerprints! I'd like to test the truck for fingerprints. Fingerprints? What for? I don't see any point in that. A certain person's fingerprints should be left on this truck. And these fingerprints will prove that this is the truck parked in front of the Grand Tower today. These fingerprints prove that this truck is in front of the tower. Edgeworth. Your fingerprints? Indeed. Earlier today, I touched a truck at the plaza in front of the Grand Tower. I'd like to test for my prints. Emma, might I request a scientific investigation? That's what I'm here for! Just leave it to me! Alright, we're all set. Go ahead, Mr. Edgeworth. Wait, you want me to do it? Of course! Who else but Mr. Edgeworth would be up for the task? Here, I'll show you how it's done. Alright then. You're a scientist, why don't you just do it yourself? First, we'll sprinkle some aluminum powder over the area you want to investigate, like this. Okay, I know how to do this! We've done this before. Okay, I forgot what my mic button was. Forgot what my mic button was. I gotta figure. Oh, my. Oh, right now, no. When in doubt, spread the powder all over. Now what you think? I'm just investigating it here, chat. Because I had to look into this when I was doing Professor Layton in the Diabolical Box, because there's a part where you actually have to blow into the mic when you're. We got one! This is a nice clean fingerprint. Let's run the print against my pro tape. Alright, just leave it to me. son of a mess. They're definitely your fingerprints, Mr. Edgeworth. Well, it seems to me that we just have proven your statement to be a lie. Ugh! Oh no, poor buddy! What are you doing when you're driving the truck around? Just taking it for a joyride. Kay was abducted 2 nights ago. Your balloon was sighted not too far from the scene. Today, there was another kidnapping in which a garbage truck was used. And once again, your truck was seen nearby. This all sounds like nothing more than a pure coincidence to me. So it was pure coincidence that you parked near 2 separate kidnappings? I doubt that. You're involved in both kidnappings, weren't you? Is it a bit too rash to automatically assume that the 2 kidnappings were connected? And what if I had evidence to prove that the 2 crimes were performed by the same culprits? Oh, you're serious! I can't wait to hear this!
Take that!
Kay was knocked out with a powerful sleeping drug, and the bottle of sleeping drugs was found lying in the place where John was confined. The contents of the bottle were matched with the drugs used on Kay. So that's all you got, huh? And here I was getting my hopes up. The same sleeping drugs were used. So what? You think that connects the 2 incidents? Surely you must realize it yourself. That doesn't prove a thing. There must be something. Evidence that proves that he's connected to those cases. The police, prosecutors, and even you, Mr. Edgeworth. In the end, you're all the same. You make up evidence as you see fit, just so you can send some poor soul to prison. Isn't there someone like that here? A poor soul who was wrongly accused in the past? I mean, I was acquitted.
Objection!
You're wrong. Who would do such a thing?
Objection!
Then show me the evidence! If you're going to accuse me of a crime, it's only natural. No use. Can't seem to find any other threads linking him to the kidnappings. Now then, just as you finally out of ammo, Mr. Edgeworth. Someone! Bring up new evidence! Please! I need it! Still having preparations to make up the circus. Let me excuse me.
Objection!
Now, you two. No need to get so heated. And Simon, you're looking good in that clown makeup. Hey, what's your deal? Don't just butt in like that. Uncle Ray's not so good in such a stiff environment. I mean, why so serious, right? This is coming from the man who's going to defend him. Hey, Kay, I have a little trick. At last, my moment has arrived. The Great Kay Faraday presents Simon, a Simon impression. Objection! No, what? Why you? Enough already. Hey, Miles, I'm buying you some time to get all your ducks in a row. There's probably a better way to solve time than this, but whatever. Woo! That's okay! I'm not so sure about this method either. But I have to find something that connects Simon's case. And I need to find it now. Is there evidence not related to the kidnapping that connects the mastermind to his identity? That's it! The mastermind is the same person that the young occulte was looking for. If I can just connect the young occulte to Simon, which piece of evidence could be connected with the mastermind's true identity? Would it be the corresponding test?
Take that!
Bentley and Doshin both communicated through a certain individual. Oh, that somebody must be the mastermind behind the case. That's it. The mastermind played a role in the correspondence test. If I can prove that it was Simon, then that's enough. I can't stomach any more of your sorry excuse for a performance. If you had no objections, then I ask that you let me get back to preparing for the show.
Objection!
Thank you for the help, Mr. Shields. Though you may have taken a little too far. You sure look happy. I think you found something. Look at me, I'm Simon. Simon's the clown. Z funny is a clown. I love how she's using only K's. Okay, you can stop now. Now then, Mr. Keys, do you happen to like chess? Well, we're rather out of the blue. But since you asked, I can't say I dislike chess. The mastermind played a correspondent trend Sirhan Dojo. If I recall, it was Knightley who had been playing chess with Dojin, wasn't it? Are you saying that he was the mastermind? There was no way Knightley could have been the mastermind. The reason being, the mastermind had continued to work behind the scenes even after Knightley's death. That being the case, who could have written this letter? I believe something acted as the middleman between Dojin and Knightley. So you're saying that you think I'm the middleman? It's what I've gone through all the trouble to do something like that. Most likely to make it appear that as if there was a connection between Knightley and Dojin. And that as a result, Knightley was killed by Patricia Rowland. No way! You're saying that it was all set up so that he would be killed by her? What are you saying? There's no way I can manipulate a person that far. You sure like to do with animals. Look at me. It takes all that I had just to get the animal form trick. Only just scrapped the letters he exchanged with Knightley still remains. If you suspect evidence, I'd like to investigate your room. There could be decisive. If this is the letters you're looking for, you won't find them. What? You idiot, Edward. You probably already dealt with it. I'm the type of guy who throws his letters away as soon as he's done reading them. Where's the point in living in the past? Does that mean he's already gotten rid of the evidence? Mr. Edgeworth, everything you said so far has been nothing more than a baseless conjecture. The evidence. I'm just one step behind it. What should I do? Am I allowed to move? Without evidence, I won't allow you to cast doubt on my friendship with Knightley. Oh no, I do believe you two were friends. Who was that? Excuse me. Miss Berry, what's on her mind? I've been listening into what you guys are saying, and when you said Mr. Knightley, you mean Simon's friend, Mr. Knightley, right? Yes, that's correct. Does she know something? This morning, a letter arrived from Mr. Knightley. It was for Simon. What? What did you say? But that's impossible. Knightley's already dead. Miss Berry, please let me see that letter. Oh, yeah. Quick, open it! This is a correspondence chess letter. This is a response to Doshin's last move. Now you can see the path to Checkmate. Can you see the path to Checkmate? I can't wait to see the look on your face. You weren't expecting to lose a chess against me, right? The postmark says March 26th, the day before Knightley's death. It seems the letter arrived late. Since the circus moves around so much, a lot of the mail people send us arrive late. Now, why was this letter addressed to you? Ugh. This proves that you were the middleman between Doshin and Knightley. Normally, you would transcribe this letter into Braille before sending it to Doshin. And in doing so, you create a connection between him and Knightley. Damn it! Curse you, Knightley! Why must you continue to interfere? Simon, why? Wasn't Knightley your only friend? Don't be ridiculous. I stopped thinking of him as a friend 18 years ago. 18 years ago. Would that because that would be the day of the IS-7 incident? Thanks to Knightley. I nearly died that day in the snowstorm. While I was on my way to the contest venue where my father was waiting, Knightley suddenly appeared. He held me down, tied me up and tied up my hands and feet with tears streaming down his face. He kept apologizing. My dad's too scary. I can't disobey him. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Stop it, Horns! I promised my dad. I said that if I taste his desserts, if I'm not there, Dad will be in trouble. I'm gonna let everyone know my dad's desserts are the best in the world. After that, he locked us inside a car. It was so cold I could see my own breath. Before we knew it, the doors had frozen shut, and not even he could get them open. And then, I lost my father. What? Your father? Horns Knightley was the son of the murderer who killed my father. What could this mean? Confessions ran contrary to the information we have. The name of the victim in the IS evidence is Isaac Dover. Isaac Dover was my father's name. 18 years ago, my memories were muddled from the shock of my near-death experience. So it wasn't until later that I really learned the truth. On that day, my father was murdered. The culprit of the IS evidence is the prefecture named by the name of Dan Gustavia. So that was the name of Knightley's father. That lowlife scum of the earth killed my father. Just the thought of him makes me sick. So you knew who the culprit was all along. Ha! Of course not. If I had known, I would have tipped off the police a long time ago. All I knew that Knightley's father was trying to set up my own father. That's why I immediately knew that the one who died that day was my dad. Knightley had in hand in my father's murder. That traitor. He was the son of a killer. It's only natural that he ended up dead. It would appear that you are a victim of a very serious misunderstanding. Misunderstanding? What are you talking about? Isaac Dover. At the time, he was actively working as a sculptor in France. Under the name of Pierre Hoquet. Is that right? Well, I'm sorry to say, I don't remember that at all. It's only natural you don't remember. After all, he's not your real father. Huh? Was that supposed to be a joke? I'm not amused. You won't be able to laugh at all once I reveal the truth to you. This piece of evidence proves that you're not Isaac Dover's son. Oh, right. Fuck. Shit, sorry. Everything's getting fucked up because I want to see chats, post chats at the same time. And be able to also see... Yeah, there we go. Got it. Right.
Take that!
What's that? Isn't that Knightley's chessboard in his ring? I want you to take a good look at this ring's design. There are two letters inscribed in it. That's the seal of Pierre Hoquet used as a signature. 18 years ago, it was found lying near the body of Isaac Dover. Why would Knightley have my father's memento with him? The police have found Isaac Dover's son and gave it to him. Isaac Dover's real son is Horns Knightley. What? But that means In other words, you are Dun Gustavia's son. That's a lie. After all, my memories are a facade. I lost my father because the Knightley locked me in that car. That's why I thought it would be fitting if you he was killed as well. Really? I'd be able to see a circus show, even in prison? I enjoy playing chess with you, but I'm looking forward to your performance as well. Yeah, please look forward to it. Alright, you better drop by again. I think I'll be thinking about my next move. Oh yeah, I left something special inside that chessboard for you. You should check it out later. Something special? I'm not quite sure what you mean, but thanks. I owe you one, Simon. If only you hadn't stopped me 18 years ago. It would have been come to this. Huh? Did you say something? Nope, not a word. Goodbye, Horns. After all that, you're saying it was my father who killed Knightley? That means it was all for nothing? I didn't want to become a somewhat weakling killed by anyone. That's why I thought I'd follow my Mr. Dorshin's footsteps. This finally proves it. Simon Keith, you are Doshin's correspondence chess partner, and the mastermind behind this case. That's right, it was me. I'm the mastermind behind it all. Finally showing his true colors. As you all know, I witnessed the incident 12 years ago. President Hu Wang's assassination. The child who drew that picture was Simon Keith. When I was found out, I was subjected to horrible interrogations over and over by that heartless Patricia. I spent nights trembling in my bed, terrified of what next day would bring. I'm sure you can understand why I wanted to sneak out of there, right? However, Ballas would have likely sent the pursuers after me. Exactly. I was on the run from them every breaking moment, for 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. I couldn't even sleep at night. I dreamt at the slightest noise. And that's why I became a circus performer. Ballas the Best was the chief prosecutor, and Professor Warland was the warden of the prison. No ordinary person would be a match for those two. Don't worry about that. It's just his design. And there's no adults I could rely on. Furthermore, behind the scenes, there was the body double who had set those two emotions. He was a fake. I was up against a national president. Talk about utter despair, right? My only ally was Mr. Doshin. He saved my life after all. He actually helped me out, unlike Knightley. If this story is true, it's ironic. Doshin, the fiendish assassin, was idolized by the child he saved. If I followed his footsteps, I no longer had to worry about being eaten alive. That's right! Now it's my turn! My turn to devour those who would feed onto me. And I suppose he never thought to seek help from the police. No way, no way, no way! As long as Ballas was around, any evidence would be destroyed by him. Actually, didn't something like that happen like that almost happened during Patricia's trial? I knew from the very beginning that things would turn out like this. The evidence from Patricia's ruined trial. So he's saying that he expected that evidence would be destroyed. I see. That's why you kidnapped John. To force a guilty verdict. Even in the absence of evidence.
Objection.
Who's to say? But in order to expose the crime of 12 years ago, there's no other choice. That's according to you. However, Ballas also attempted to kidnap John in order to manipulate the trial in his favor. Your methods are no different than those people you so despise.
Objection.
That's only if I were actually the kidnapper. But I would never do anything so evil. No way, no way, no way. I just simply couldn't. Besides, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm actually quite thankful for the real criminals for giving me the opportunity to exercise such sweet revenge. So you admit it. Your motive was revenge. Yeah, I admit it. So what? Sure, I helped a grudge against those creeps. But if who actually killed them? You mean to say that? Yep, just like that case at Great Lake. It was way easier than trying to control wild animals. All I did was come up with a fake assassination plan, and for Knightley, that was also part of his plan. And that, if that's the case, then Rook's murder was also your... Whoa! Don't try to pin that on me. Knightley killed him on all his own. Well, it ended up creating the perfect opportunity for me. It's funny how things worked out. How can you say such a thing? It was the same for Francisco Roland. I made it look like there was a connection between Knightley and Doja. By using the corresponding the chess match in the chisel and the chessboard. What? You mean to say that you're the one who prepared that chisel? That's right! I thought you'd bring Doja into mind. Quite a thoughtful little gift, wouldn't you agree? And all it took was to get Patricia to murder Knightley. On the feeling that everyone around you is the enemy. I know it all too well. The tiniest sparkle gets off an explosion of fear, resulting in horrific murder and mutual destruction. All I did was watch the comedy of errors unfold from the audience. Dude, you were fucking arrested for that one. And you were my final pawn, Mr. A pawn? Me? And here I thought I was the king of the whole game. When you solved their cases, you brought both Bells and Patricia to their ruin. And the weapons that delivered the coup with the grace with your own logic! I didn't solve those cases for your sake. Oh, I know. You never really cared about saving me. You just wanted to pretend to be a defense attorney, didn't you? What did you... All I had to do was go, no way, no way, no way, and act all scared. And you totally believed me. You were giving it all your all to try to save me. So even your arrest was just a ploy to make me use my logic? To be fair, getting arrested wasn't part of the plan. When people began to suspect the chisel I sent was a murder weapon, honestly, I broke out in a cold sweat. I thought for sure the curtain would be curtains for me. But then, a turnabout of a meticulous proportion. The genius prosecutor himself came to my rescue. Well, doesn't it feel nice to be thanked by me? The one that you saved. You should be grateful. I'm giving you this chance to play the ace attorney. I'll leave the ace attorney to a certain other defense attorney I know. You're wrong. He wasn't pretending to be a defense attorney. Mr. Edgeworth is always serious about saving people. Even times when he saved me in the past. Hey. Is that so? Are you sure he's not just trying to emulate his own father? The one he admires so much? Absolutely not. That's not true at all. Now, Kay. The person he's talking about isn't Miles, but rather Simon himself. Clearly, he's not able to trust others. The desire to save someone other than himself is something he cannot even comprehend. Say what you want, but make sure you think about it long and hard. And sure, all my targets for revenge got what they deserved in the end. However... Think about it. Can anyone my actions really be considered a crime? I instigated murder? There's not a single word about that in the letter, is there? If I had to say the word kill even once, I could consider it in conviction. Well, maybe I did say it, but there's no way for you to prove it. What are you saying? You kidnapped me! I'm sorry, but that hasn't been proven yet, has it? The only thing I admitted to was sending the letters. Besides, those letters contain no threats or persuasion. I simply conveyed information that each recipient would find beneficial. You crafty little... Can we do something about it? What is it he said? instigating murder. Instigating murder is when the person directs someone else into committing murder. Like how, blanking on his name. Lord Strongheart. Yep, got it. Did to a bunch of different people in the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. But now, can you use that as a point? Because if we're talking about like when these games came out, Resolve wouldn't come out for another 6 years. The person who directed the murder can be charged as if he committed the crime himself, like in Farewell My Turnabout. So we just have to find the proof that he's directed to those murders. You make it sound so easy. To be honest, it kind of pisses me off a little. You're all trying to frame an innocent person for murder. The way that you're acting. Don't you understand? I'm not obligated to waste any more time on this pointless discussion.
Not so fast.
The police are waiting for you outside the tent. You have nowhere to run. Really now? You think I wouldn't have an escape route prepared? For example, let's say I gave an order that all the animals here attacked you. Now, what if I were to take a leave during the ensuing chaos? What did you say? You can't be serious. It was just an example. Wouldn't that make an interesting show? Here's another idea. What if I just pulled out a hidden gun and took John hostage? That might be more exciting. I will never allow you to do such a thing. I can't tell whether Simon is being serious. However, when it comes to him, we should consider anything a possibility. If you continue to bore me with your dribble, I'll end the show right here. I'd like to keep that in mind before you make any baseless objections. I cannot make any careless remarks. So we gotta be careful. I gotta be careful with what I press then, right? Is there some way I can charge him with crimes?
Objection.
Ha! If it's my firm conviction that you instigated the murders. After all, you told me yourself. Perhaps I should let you in on this, Mr. Edgeworth. Actually, it was I who ordered Belle to kill Drinking. What? Did I say that? I don't really remember. You may think you can deceive us as much as you want. But unfortunately for you, you used the bug to eavesdrop on our conversations. But there's someone else who wiretapped that bug of yours to record the whole thing. Was that recorded? In other words, the conversation between you and that clown is recorded on that tape? Ah! Lane Chi said, a schemer drowned in his own schemes. And this is what he meant. Miss Swift, I would like to listen to your tape. Raja? Ah, it's right about here. Mr. Edgeworth, this Courtney's cell phone is ringing. Who is this? Are you the person who ambushed Kay? Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. someone listening to this too. Very well. This is where it starts. Well, I must say. Huh? That's odd. What's wrong? Well, there ain't nothing recorded past this point. What? Why? Why wasn't it recorded? Too bad. So sad. Did you really think I'd leave behind any incriminating evidence? The bug I planted has a special feature. It can turn on and off with a remote control. What? That sort of thing exists? Certainly, remote-controlled listening devices do exist. However, are you saying you switched off the device so that your own voice would not be recorded? Precisely! Impossible! You couldn't have done that unless you knew you were being recorded. Isn't it obvious I knew? I guess you were just don't get it. You could call it a hunch. I had feelings I was being wiretapped. Miss Swift, was it? I figured things out because you knew about the kidnapping. Don't tell me. You listened into that conversation? That's right! Saw it come. I'm surprised you didn't realize it until now. Some genius prosecutor you turned out to be, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh my! And what was the end result of all this? Ah, since you don't have any proof of the instigation charges, game over. Mr. Prosecutor, was my recording not no help to you at all? Ain't there anything at all in my recording? Miss Swift. Okay. Yes? The bug was planted in your badge, right? Do you have any ideas? How do you expect me to come up with an answer right off the top of my head? You were the only one who came into contact with the culprit. How unsightly. You're all fussing over useless evidence. Let's move on to the next topic. Next. What's this? He seems a bit eager to change the topic of conversation. He's the only one who came in contact with the culprit. Only Kay came into contact with Simon. If any sound was recorded at that time, she was with the culprit. Miss Swift, how long have you been recording? Since 2 nights ago, I reckon. Since 2 nights ago. But in that case, when could the conversation with Simon possibly have been recorded? 2 nights ago? 2 nights ago. Simon brought Kay to the roof. If we were listening to the recording from that time frame. Miss Swift, please let us listen to the recording from 2 nights ago. Huh? Okie dokie. This is the sound of a hot air balloon. That's right. At the time, Simon was carrying Kay in a hot air balloon. Ergo, he was near Kay. Is there anything recorded? Bang! Click! Ah! That was a gunshot. It seems like you were quick to deactivate the bug, however. You were a little too late. You can't run anymore. That gunshot ties you to the case. Huh? What are you saying? There's no guns involved in this case, is there? No, there should be someone connected to the case who fired a gun. Let's check with the evidence that points to that person. Which is the evidence connected to the gunshot to the case?
Take that!
It's written right here in the body's double observer. Gunpowder residue was detected on his right hand. Where was Kay at the time the gunshot was reported? That's right. She was being carried to the roof on the Grand Tower in your balloon. As it turns out, there was a few people on that very same rooftop at the time. You mean Double and me? Ah, certainly after we talked for a brief moment. The body double noticed something and had me leave before him. Now, if that gunshot rang out after that, you can clearly hear that in the recording. I doubt that you wouldn't have noticed it. Do you intend to feign ignorance until the very end? And that's nothing more than a mere constructor.
Go fast.
Well, what we heard on the recording just now was a gunshot. Bang! Clang! If you listen closely, you can hear a bullet hitting something. That body double was aiming at Simon then. The bullet may have struck which was out. Hot air balloon.
Take that.
The body double likely fired the gun at the balloon. If we assume that the bullet had hit something, it would have been the balloon's basket. Let's examine it immediately. Oh, well? This hole. It's a bullet hole. A bullet hole was found in the basket. You won't be able to talk your way out of this one. How do you intend to explain the gunshot in the bullet hole? So you figured it out. You're good. I guess it's impossible to hide anything from you. Spit it out already. Okay, no need to be impatient. It happened when I was riding the balloon to the rooftop. I saw the dog buddy and you and Courtney on the roof. Talk about a surprise. The only double noticed me. He told Miss Courtney to leave it ahead. Then he pointed the gun at me and fired. Why didn't you want to shoot down the balloon? It's simple. The body double had intended to kill Miss Courtney. Kill me? That's right. You talked to the double about John, didn't you? Well, it's not like the body double would have met with you otherwise. From his point of view, it was like showing him evidence that he was a fake. You mean that he was afraid of Judge Courtney because she knew about John's past? Afraid? That's exactly right. That body double was a coward after all. I even remember how his hands were trembling when he fired the gun at my balloon. Are we all clear now? I was only there by chance. Just a friendly witness who was passing by. I'm really not impressed with this. I don't want to.
Hold it.
The bullet struck the balloon's basket and hurt. I panicked and quickly tried to get away so he wouldn't shoot me down, but talk about a close call. He wouldn't try to get away from it then. That's right. Is there a problem? Is there a problem with the statement? Wait, yes! You must have placed K on the rooftop. You couldn't have gotten away before then, correct? Yeah, that's right. I forgot. After the body double fired one shot, he entered the hatch on the 51st floor. OBJECTION! I looked around for a bit, then landed on the roof. Please add that statement to your testimony. Sure, I don't mind. Enough with your nonsense, fool. Foolish fool who foolishly dreamt he could get away with murder. Sorry, was that a little too much? I don't care. Lied. The body double could not have entered the storage room on the 51st floor 2 nights ago. Miss Hart's testimony proves it. What? How can you trust that sham journalist's testimony? What do you say? You can't insult my mentor like that! 2 nights ago, that lady was sticking out the 51st floor. Given that, just how did that body double leave the room? Indeed, that's what we must now prove. If he did not use the elevator or the 51st floor to leave the room, then the only route remaining is the balloon. How did the body double leave the rooftop without using the lion balloon?
Take that!
The body double flew. Flew. Simon Key, he rode in your balloon.
Objection!
Hey, stop joking around. Why would I need to give the body double a lift?
Objection!
The elevator had security cameras, and the 51st floor was being watched by Miss Park. Your balloon was the only way the double Billy could have left the room.
Objection!
At the circus, we often perform dangerous stunts in order to surprise the audience. Do you think you got me cornered? Sorry, but the show ends here. No. I think the show has only just begun. Actually, no. I do agree with you. The show ends. But it doesn't end the way you think it does. What? Hey you, Lada, was it? I'd like to ask you something. Are you saying you still watched the 54th floors the entire time without any breaks? Well, reckon of course, there ain't no mistaking my testimony.
Objection!
Really now. But didn't the sound of Mr. Edwards' assistant falling into the storage room cause you to faint? I didn't mention it before, but after that night I dozed off a little. To be more precise, I fainted. Well, something like that. Something did happen. It's hard. I have determined the sound that made you faint. It was likely that the sound of Kay falling into the storage floor. What is your point? That means perfect. Look at her, Mr. Edgeworth. That's the kind of person you really are right now. Kay fell into the storage room after double body fell on left the room. In that case, I was steering how things happen. As that cowardly body double fired a shot at me. He went and hid in the shadows until Kay fell into the storage room. What? So, what if he was hiding? Good grief, you guys still haven't noticed. What if the body double stayed hidden until Lada had fainted? Then he went down to the 51st floor? That can't be. Precisely. The locked room mystery on the roof has been unlocked. Yeah! He even said it in my voice. But wait, there's more! I told the hidden body double about John Marsh. That's why he attacked John the next day during the practice. He got himself killed instead. In other words, the one who murdered the body double was none other than John! John had no motive to kill the body double. He knew. It was the real president's son. And how would that he known that? Because I told him so. In a letter. What did you say? That is a lie. Yep, it's all a lie. Huh? But then again, maybe not. Maybe I really did tell him. Right, John? It's true that I caused Zuzilla's head to fall. But I didn't know about my dad until today. I'm not lying. Oh, really? I wonder about that. I found out about the head falling thanks to that bug. Now, if you were the only one who caused it to fall, and the body double to press death, that settles it. You're the culprit. You successfully carried out your revenge. Congratulations. All the pieces of the puzzle are now in place. And as Mr. Edgeworth would say, a logic fits. Now then, any rebuttals? Manipulating humans into fighting with each other. That's just like me, right? I did the same thing to Knightley and Ballas. At any rate, there's no way the body double could have gone for a ride in my balloon. The double was crushed by the monster's head, right? And who was it that caused the monster's head to fall? Yeah, the bad, evil clown. I really don't like that I actually motive for murder. Because it's the truth, you're... What's wrong? More people here. Maybe all the same as balancing the body. You ignore the suspect and come after me without any... This law you believe in? That is by no means true.
Objection.
If you're not going to arrest anyone, maybe I should have a talk with the policeman outside. If you tell them that John Marsh is the killer, they'll be forced to take action.
Objection.
Simon Keith, your testimony isn't over yet. Really? I figured you'd try to stop me, Edgeworth. You don't have any evidence, do you? Which means there's no chance for you to win, right? But if you still plan to stop me, you should be prepared to take on such a risk. That much? It's only natural. After all, the fate of the true culprit, John Marsh, is at stake here. You wouldn't... Hey, Miles. Why don't you take a nice deep breath? Thank you, my voice is hurting. Mr. Shields? It sounds like this. You should take a breather and think back. Alright. Well, see, I would say, what would a certain defense attorney do in this moment? But this is the moment where a pretty lady would swoop in and save the day. It was. Defense attorneys always remain calm in a pinch and smile in the face of danger. The point of contention and your logic in his plans lies is in the body double's escape route. How about it? For example, you think it like this. What's important isn't whether or not the body double got into the balloon, but rather, if we were to assume he did, what circumstances would he have allowed for that? Turn my thinking around. Well, all I'm doing is a cheap imitation of your old man. Did it help? Circumstances that would allow the body double to get on the balloon. Well, I mean, it also kind of reminds me of Mia, so. Right, the body double not only had a large build, but he also had a gun. And in spite of that, no traces of sleeping drugs were found in his system. Which means, it can't be. Mr. Edgeworth, are you ready yet? Hope you haven't forgotten about this. Bad. I must break his testimony somehow. He said monster, but we all well know that it's Mozilla.
Objection.
John was not the one who killed the body double. He was crushed by a monster. Quit clowning around. This isn't like you at all. Oh, I get it. Since John is supposed to understand the heart of a monster. The one who understands the heart of a monster is you. Not even I have monsters for friends, you know.
Objection.
Stop being so modest. Didn't you have one very important friend? A monster you control at will. Hot air. Oh, wouldn't you agree? Though I am a lioness, tell anybody I'm just selfish. You've been fixated on your claim that you've been in. Top. You put the plan to buy your killed on the rooftop 2 nights ago? Well, that simply doesn't match up with the time of death. What did you say? I did not like you at all, Mr. Edgeworth. Take a good look at the opposite reports. The time of death was around 11 p.m. last night. Your Honor, I would like to update the ops area report. Last night. That's right. The very night the Mozilla head fell. Well, Johnny boy, come on, how about telling us the truth? You killed your father, right? I know the feeling. You hated him, didn't you? Your father who left you alone, all alone forever. You're wrong! I had no idea who that guy was my dad. Not this again. Didn't I personally tell you myself? Is my logic wrong? Mr. Edgeworth, allow me to thank you once again for chasing down Bellis and Patricia and bringing them both to ruin. My revenge was success, all thanks to your logic. If only time and death matched up, then my logic would fit. Perhaps I did something to throw off the time of death. What more? Dang Gustavia, was it? You even took down the culprit of the IS-7 incident. Dang Gustavia and the IS-7 incident. That's it! Gustavia killed Dover and hid the body in a block of ice. Mrs. Gustavia intended to freeze the body in order to throw off the time of death. And the time of death has consisting of the tea party Mrs. Gustavia would have been suspected. That is correct. You know what? Like father, like son. It's a shame that I didn't get to win this. I promise. I shoot near the harbor, pal. The kidnapper. What are you going back to that? I don't know a thing about it. Don't forget, John was confined in a refrigerated warehouse. That's right. You kept the body's double corpse in that very same warehouse. 18 years ago, your father hid a body in the same way. What? My father? The one who abandoned me? Is the same thing? Who would have guessed? Both father and son would use the same method.
Objection.
Stop it! Don't lump me in with that guy. My father, I'm nothing like him. There's extremely dangerous thing to do to an assassin. Not having all the cards on the table can seriously jeopardize an assassination. However, what is even more unforgivable is your deception in your attempt to manipulate me. The time has come for your retribution. Stop! It's been far too long, Sugar. Please step aside. This man is my prey. I must ask you to spare his life. Please permit this young associate to receive his proper punishment in prison. And if I refuse? He is the first life I would save. I will not allow it to be taken away so easily. You saved a life. The assassin Sirhan Duong. Ironic, is it not? That I, the one who has taken countless lives, am making a plea for this young one's life. He saved my life, just as I have saved his. Before I knew it, I grew quite fond of the lad. You may laugh at me as much as you wish. However, I must ask that you spare the life of the body. From one assassin to another, please make this allowance. I understand, if you're willing to go that far. You have my thanks. I am in your debt. No need for thanks. I simply feel that there would be no merit in a fight to the death. That is all. And with that, I must take my leave. Damn it! Wait! Prosecutor Edwards, I must thank you as well. It was necessary for this young associate to be put in his place, and that you have done. Now then, it's time for me to return to my humble cage surrounded by the iron bars. Right, Amadeus? Right, boy? Oh, look who's here. Hey, Priest Scott, you killed my dad, right? Indeed, I am not one to forget those I have slain. I see you must despise me, boy with horns. In that case. Ugh! John! Don't panic. I simply lent the boy with horns my knife. Take that and run it through my throat. A single stab should do. I have long grown weary of my wooden carvings. Revenge! John, don't do it! John, please, I beg of you! Until just now, I had intended to seek revenge, no matter how many years it took. Revenge? Revenge is good, real good. All your pain and suffering slips away. Everything becomes numb, and you'll feel nothing. Yeah, you may be right. I thought about that while listening to what you had to say. John! But the only one who would be satisfied with revenge would be myself, right? If I became a murderer, my mom would go through even more pain and suffering. My friends from the movies, too. All those people who cared about me as well. The boy with horns says some interesting things. That's right, I finally get it now. I'll never forgive you, but I'm not one who should punish you. After all, isn't that what my mom and that prosecutor guy are here for? John. John, you just said some really profound stuff just now. Hey, perhaps you should study a little more into yourself. Is that so? Well, young one, it is time for us to depart. Where to? To prison, of course. That place will be our home. Our home? And with that, the case that involved and affected so many people came to a close. However, there was still one last thing I had to do. April 8th, 2:54 p.m., Grand Tower, PIC meeting room. Mr. Edgeworth, sorry to keep you waiting. Why'd you call Uncle Ray and the rest of us out here? Mr. Edgeworth, The formal proceedings have just come to a close. Hmm? What are you talking about? This is the place where I once relinquished my prosecutor's badge. This is your prosecutor's badge. Prosecutor Edgeworth, what is the meaning of this? Consider this my resignation. I am no longer a prosecutor. In order to save me when I was suffering from my memory loss, a certain man once said, the only ally a defendant has is their attorney. By trusting in their client, an attorney draws closer to the truth. The sight of that man still shines brightly in my eyes, just as the image of my father fighting in court does. Gregory. However, this is nothing more than that man and my father's way of life. It's not mine. Mr. Edgeworth, I think I shall live as a prosecutor after all. I see. So you made your decision. I'm sorry. No, I understand. That's not your answer. That's your answer, isn't it? It is. Okay, and that's the end of this conversation. Don't regret it. Even if you beg me later, I won't let you work for me ever again. I understand. But mind if I ask you why you chose to live as a prosecutor? Mr. Shields, you asked me this before. To fight crime as a prosecutor or to save people as a defense attorney, I want you to think carefully about how you want to live your life from now on. If you thought long and hard about that question ever since, how should I live my life? And after this case concluded, I finally found my answer. I want to save people as a prosecutor. As a prosecutor? Simon Keyes. He too was a victim. He lost a parent in a past murder, and with it, the ability to believe in anything else. I too know that feeling. The feeling of losing what is important to you and being unable to believe in anything. I doubted everything during my lonely battles in those days. All that I can hope to do is get every defendant declared guilty. That's the one who saved me was... Mr. Keyes must have been all alone. I love how in this game they never address Phoenix by name! But we all know it's Phoenix! Unable to find salvation from the law, he had no choice but to take his hands into revenge. And I suppose he never sought to seek help from the police. No way. As long as Ballas was around, even evidence would be destroyed by him. Actually, didn't something like that almost happen today during Patricia's trial? I want to save those like Simon Keyes. So how would you save him? I'm sure this tragedy could have been avoided if only he could have relied on the courts. But instead, he was cornered by Ballas the Best, who used the power of the law for evil. The form of the law can change depending on who wields it. It can be at once a shield to protect and a blade to harm. That, too, is a contradiction of the law. A contradiction, huh? That's true. It sure is a contradiction in the law. The way the law is right now, it isn't always completely right. The only way to right those contradictions is by joining the court system. The one who could have saved Simon Keyes was not an attorney, but rather a watchman of the law, a prosecutor. I shall face the contradictions of the law as a prosecutor. I see. That's just like you. But it'll be tough. It won't just be a walk in the park. You'll be going up against the law itself. You do realize that, right? I do. However, someone must. Yep. Uncle Ray believes in you too. The law involves and grows, just like all of us do. I'm sure you can pull it off. After all, you are Gregory's son. Your old man would never give up no matter what. His eyes always saw what lay straight ahead. Miles, when you chose the life of the prosecutor, your eyes looked just like your father's. It looks like you were growing up a bit. I really wish your old man could see you now. Thank you very much, Mr. Shields. So then, Prosecutor Edgeworth, allow me to formally return this to you. Please do. I, Justine Courtney, as a member of the PSC, do hereby return to Miles Edgeworth the rights and privileges of a prosecutor, in the name of the goddess of law. And with that, Prosecutor Edgeworth is revived. That's great, sir. So then, Prosecutor Edgeworth, it's time for Uncle Ray to make his exit. I have to report to your old man about the traitor in the Edgeworth family. Thank you for everything. True. The next time we meet just might be in courtroom. I hope you be ready. Uncle Ray might not look it, but he's an ace attorney after all. I look forward to seeing you, the attorney my father trained in action. Take care. Prosecutor Edgeworth, welcome back. Judge Courtney, I must give you thanks to you as well. To me, you sought to fix the corruption within the PSC from the inside. That must truly have been a lonely battle. No, it was not, for I was never alone. Because of the gods, the law was always by your side, right? You made me realize that one could fight in such a way. The prosecutor's office, no, the entire legal world is caught up in this contradiction. If we cannot see it right, there must be a truth that will never see the light of day. It's only through your help that I was able to find this new path. Once that fight against the contradictions in the law, I too find that promising. As the one in service of the goddess of law, you shall certainly succeed in helping the law grow. Let us meet again in the courtroom. Yes, I must apologize for my shameful actions during the trials 2 days ago. Next time, I shall fulfill my duties as a judge personally. Your Honor, I do not intend to speak regarding your ideal, Prosecutor Edgeworth. However, the greatest judge I know is one overflowing with humanity. Even during a trial, that judge experiences happiness, anger, sadness, and joy. But nevertheless, always hands down the correct verdict in the end. It's difficult to say, but sometimes I feel that perfection is not always perfect. So a judge too has the right to behave in such a manner. Thank you very much. Prosecutor Edgeworth. When I pursued and fought against the Elizabeth, the goddess of law was not the only one by my side. Ah, it's John! When I have this guy out with me, I feel a strange sense of courage well up from within. No matter how painful things came, no matter how strong the foe, when I remembered that I am not alone, I'm able to keep moving forward. Wrongs must be put right, for John's sake as well. John too lost his father in a past crime. That's more important to me than any words to the goddess of law. so I'm sure the goddess of law would be angered by those words. Your bond with your son is a secret to your strength, I imagine. I don't have to be perfect. I just want to grow little by little. Both as a judge and as a mother. That is how I feel. It seems that there's much each of us has yet to learn. Agreed. We are still but children before the world. Let us grow in our respective paths until we meet again. I shall look forward to that reunion. May the blessings of the goddess of law be upon you as you follow your new path. Though I once lost my position as prosecutor, I am now have reclaimed it. Thus may I tread a new path as a prosecutor. I shall surely return to reach the truth waiting at the end of this path, no matter how difficult the path may be. And if anyone seeks to stop me on the path, they shall receive no mercy, no matter who they may be. I shall, just one word, objection! Oh, guys, I wish you guys could hear this music. It is so good.
I want to just go to bed, so. Wait, you can hear me? Can you hear the game? Because that would be really unfortunate. I didn't know if you guys could hear. Oh, I didn't notice. I am so sorry. Oh, I see what it is. I just must have had too many things open because for the majority of this, I had Chrome open so that I could see TikTok, so I could see the TikTok chat. So, anyways, so yeah, my voice is starting to really strain on me, so that's why I'm not reading the end credits like I usually do. But, but thank you guys so much for joining on this path, and I honestly can now say for certainty that this, and I'm so glad that I actually did voice act that last bit because I was just like, oh boy. Also, by the way, this is my top interventionist close for best end suite. It's absolutely gonna be added to. I'm absolutely adding this to my playlist on Spotify. And I'll mark that being 4 end suites that I have on my playlist. Because I have most of the Greatest Attorney Chronicles. I also have Dual Destinies just because I have like literally everything of Dual Destinies music because that soundtrack is the bomb, even though I haven't played Dual Destiny yet. Anyways, so I find it real. I think this is definitely, like I said, this is by far my favorite game of the franchise. Okay, maybe not by far because the Polish Justice was also really great. So then in the end, so I just can't believe like any of this too. It was infuriating. Also, I didn't expect to. I was expecting the stream to go kind of late when I decided to like, let's just finish the game. So I really just must get to bed soon. So that's kind of why I'm not reading it. Also with my voice being very sore because goddamn did Simon take a lot, switching between like Simon and Dojin, doing Simon, Dojin, the killer, John, and all those voices take a lot out of me. Like, I love it. And honestly, now that I completed the game, I can talk about headcanons. I can talk about my headcanons. I had headcanons what happens to everybody. So obviously one of my biggest headcanons is that okay, so I was thinking about this at work. I was thinking about headcanons. So now my Edgeworth one kind of falls apart because he's what it sounds like is he's like continuing to be he is continuing to prosecutor. I had a headcanon that he was kind of like, I mean it might still be true. I had a headcanon that he kind of takes a step back a little bit from the courts, but ultimately to like train Sebastian, or Eustace Winter, who I know for his official name is Eustace Winter, but I like the headcanon that Eustace illegally changes his name to Sebastian. I just like the headcanon that, Another headcanon I have is eventually Kay gives up the whole Great Siege thing, but not like fully. Like, I headcanon that she's becoming that she ends up becoming a private investigator whose like sole purpose is being like a great thief of the truth. Like Yatsugatsu becomes a private investigator. Now, obviously, one of the biggest headcanons we got is Gumshoe because he doesn't appear in the Apollo Since Gumshoe doesn't appear in the Gumshoe doesn't appear in the Apollo Sources trilogy, it kind of begs the question, what the hell happened to him? So, I like to imagine that he becomes like, you know how Edgeworth eventually, because I know in Dill Destiny, when Edgeworth returns, he's the chief prosecutor. So I would like to imagine that Gumshoe became the chief of the police department. So, and that's why he keeps like sending Emma out and like making sure doing stuff to make sure she really understands what it is and she can't just rely on her side. And that she must do more than just like science stuff and stuff. Now, everybody else is kind of the obvious choices too. Okay, so here's the thing. Eustace Winter has grown on me a little bit, but I feel like now that he's grown as a character, the name doesn't fit. So that's why I had canon that he legally changes his name to that. To be fair, the one I'm not a fan of is Eddie fucking Finder. Ray Shields is so much cooler! Like, what sounds cooler? Uncle Ray or Uncle Eddie? I'm a give or take on Verity It was for Courtney, so that's just kind of how I feel. That's a give or take. Like I feel like Eustace Winter is a good like character. If my headcanon would be canon, I feel like it would be a good arc for him. It would be a good arc. So and stuff. That's kind of my thoughts behind it. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, it really is. We had this translation for 13. We had to deal with this translation for 13 years, and then Capcom was like, "Hey, here's your collection." And by the way, we're changing the names on you. So like we've all known these characters as their translation. That's why ever since the announcement of the collection came out, I had the channel point reward of official names where I would use their official names instead of the translation names as much as I remembered for like the next 10 minutes or however long I remembered, to be honest. So I'm also, one thing I am glad of is I was when the announcement came, I was just at the part of I was just at the part of at the end of the Turnabout Prison. So and see, that's kind of why he stays like Eustace Winter. I think he would be a Sebastian Winter in my head canon. Like he doesn't go changing his last name. Oh no! Is Power gonna be suspected of murder again? That's the lead. With that, our investigation ends. Wait, no, that's an epilogue! Highest Prosecutor's Office, room 202. Wow! Well, really busy with those cases, weren't we, sir? Indeed, we were. Why did these incidents happen in such quick succession? I feel like things are always busy when I'm around. Wait, Kay, when does that mean you're a magnet for crimes? Hey, Gummy! That was rude. I do get the impression that he's not entirely wrong. So then, Kay, do you intend to resume your training to become a great thief? I don't know. Huh? Is something on your mind, pal? How should I put it? Until now, I've always been chasing after my father. That I could become a great thief just like him. Like the previous Yasugatsu, I suppose. But watching you, Mr. Edgeworth, made me think. Maybe instead of chasing after my father, I should find my own path. I mean, you didn't become a defense attorney like me either. Chasing after a parent's shadow isn't the only path in life for a child after all. I'm gonna aim to be a hero in my own way. Like I said, she head canon. She becomes a private investigator using the Yasugatsu as her brand. That sounds good. But of course, that doesn't mean I'm going to throw away the name of the great thief Yasugatsu. That ain't in my head canon. No matter what sort of hero you become, Kay will always be Kay. Thanks, Gummy. And Gummy will always be Gummy. Of course, pal. I plan to keep pushing forward on my path of detective after all. Mr. Edgeworth, I look forward to continuing working with you, sir. Yes, I'll be counting on you, Detective Gumshoe. Detective, you saved me many times during these past cases. You have my gratitude. I suggest you look forward to your next salary assessment. Huh? What? Does that mean what I think it means? What's wrong? I'm saying that your salary ought to be raised. Really, sir? I can't believe it! Isn't that great, Gummy? Like a dream come true. I'm finally going to say goodbye to my instant noodle lifestyle. However, that doesn't mean you can't start slacking off. The real work begins from here on out. You should prepare yourself. Yes, sir! Roger that! I'll devote my body and soul to following you, Mr. Edgeworth. Why aren't you handled as your spirit of justice? I know you're not as evil as Justice Trilogy! stand against the contradiction of the law, and to reach the truth at the end of that road. What am I able to do? That is the question I must dwell upon. Certainly this path will not be easy, however. Prosecutor Edward, when I pursued and fought against Bella's death, the god of the law was not the only one by my side. Surely you don't mean... If it's spoilers, please don't say. When I have this cat with me, I feel like a princess of courage from sin. When I remember that I am not alone, I'm able to keep moving forward. Your bond with your son is the secret to your strength. Bonds, huh? Ah! I completely forgot! That was sudden. What's wrong? I was searching for members of the New Yakugatsu. Now that you mention it, I do remember you saying something to that effect. In the end, you don't know who to find a single person. Can you imagine it? A team combining their powers in order to steal the truth. I wanted to create an invincible team like that, but... What are you saying, pal? Don't you already have the team? Together, the three of us can solve any case that comes our way. Yeah, you're right! A prosecutor, a detective, and a great team. We're the invincible trio of heroes that steals, and pursues the truth. Hearing all that kind of makes me feel sorry for the three. As long as the three of us are together, there's nothing to fear. Isn't that right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Says the two who don't show up in Dual Destiny or Spirit of Justice.
Yes, you're correct. But you know, what can happen in...
Wait, how much time is between Dual Justice and Dual Destiny?
I too shall advance along line. Accompanied by my somewhat boisterous comrades. As long as they are by my side, I'm off forward without hesitation. On this new path as a prosecutor and attorney. The path I walk is not my father's. However, I am certain that the two paths are not separate. Though we may walk in opposite directions, our destination is the same. Why, you may ask? Because both paths lead to one and only truth. The end. Okay, that's what I saw. But like I said, because I knew there was a 7-year gap between Trials and Tribulations and Apollo's Justice. That's kind of canon,
Especially when I looked up the fact that, I especially looked up like, years and stuff.
But yes, safe. Actually, it doesn't fucking matter though. Anyways, so yeah, that's it. Thank you guys all for joining on this journey of Ace Attorney Investigations 2. I'm really happy that I played this. Now, could have I waited till the official release? Probably, but in my defense, I didn't know it was good. The collection was gonna be out
Until I was already through like Crimson Turnabout.
So anyways, starting next week, we'll be starting Zero Escape, the non-binary games. And we'll definitely have to be enjoying ourselves
In a new game.
For those who are wondering, you might think the next Ace Attorney game I'm going to be playing is going to be okay. So next up we have Zero Escape, the non-binary game. Then I'll be playing Trigger.
trying Pulpart, which is a game inspired by Ace Attorney, but it's not a official Ace Attorney game. And then I'm gonna be doing a media streamer Overlord and Bad End Theater, and
Then we'll get to Dual Destiny. So expect Dual Destiny in probably about like 8 months or so.
anyways, I'll see you guys on Saturday for either Stardew Valley. Anyways, so like I said, I'll see you guys on Saturday for either Stardew or some art that pertains to my VTuber lore. Haven't figured out what that's gonna be yet. But anyways, we are going to go raid my friend Jet Dive. So, I hope that you guys give him lots of love and everything. And I will see you guys Saturday. Bye.